Welcome. Today we're going to learn how to form informal commands in Spanish. Now, informal commands are pretty simple to do. They're only going to be used with one person. If you use more than one, you got to change it up totally. So it's only one person when you're talking to you. So if I was talking to one other person out there, I'd be like, you do that. That'd be kind of how you would use informal commands. So let's show you how to form them with some examples, and hopefully that'll help you learn them better. And we'll move on to formal commands a little bit later. So first of all, informal commands. Let's start off with AR verb. So we have bailar, to dance. Alright, so pretty much all we're going to do is put the verb in the he or she form of the present tense. Alright, so we always know we take off our AR. Our present tense verb ending for AR verbs in the present is an A, baila. So if I want to say you, dance, baila. Alright. Let's move on to comer, to eat, an ER verb. Alright. First step, take off the ER, add the right ending, which for ER verbs in the present is an E, come. Alright. So if I'm talking to one other person and I was like, eat your food, it would be come tu comida. If we move over here to IR verb, we get escribir. Talking to one other person, you write, take off our IR, add the he, she form present ending, which we know is also an E, so we get escribe. Alright? So like escribe, and talking about like maybe an assignment or write down the vocab, etc. Let's move on to some irregulars. Alright, we'll get to negative a little bit later because that kind of throws in a little twist. So irregular commands, there are 8 of them. First one being decir, which becomes D. Next we have hacer, which becomes as. Then we get ir, ve. Next we have poner, pon. Next we have salir, sal. Tener, ten. Venir, ven. And last but not least, we have ser, say. You need to make sure you put the accent on say, because if you don't, it looks like a reflexive pronoun. So you don't want that to occur. So you make sure you have the accent on that so we know that when it's in written form that it is in fact a command. Alright, so let's go with you making these negative. Now, if you keep going past this part, you'll have formal commands. And with formal commands, you'll kind of see how this makes more sense as we go about. So here's just a quick run through negative and formal commands, and then you can kind of see where this all comes from when I teach formal commands here in just a second. So let's say we want to take bailar, alright, and we want to make it negative. So someone is dancing and I want to say don't dance. Alright, so what you're going to do is, first of all, we know how to make everything negative in Spanish. You just put a no in front. Step number 1, put the no. Alright, step number 2, now we have to do something a little funky. Alright, what you're going to do is you will put the verb in the yo form present. So for bailar, we'll have bailo. Then you have to put it with opposite endings. And what I mean by opposite endings is that AR verbs will get an E and IR verbs will get an A. So for in this case, we'll change it to baile. And if that's not confusing enough, then you have to add an S on the end. So you get no bailes. All right, we'll do it again with comer. All right, so don't eat. All right. So we keep going. All right, we have comer. First step, take off the ER, put it in the yo form present. We get como, take off the O, put it with opposite ending, add the S, comas, so we get no comas. All right, move on to escribir, don't write. All right, we have escribir, change it to escribo, then take off the O again, opposite endings, escriba, add the S, no escribas. Right? Now some of you are like, okay, what happens with decir? How does those work? Or hacer, or ir, or poner, all these irregulars up here. Well, I'll go ahead and give them to you and how they work. However, keep watching. It'll make more sense when you go over the negative formal and the positive formal and all those verbs here in a minute, how we got that. All right, so here we go. Decir, it's di or no digas. All right, haz or no hagas. Ve, no vayas. Poner, no pongas. Salir, no salgas. Tener, no tengas. Ven, no vengas. And then for ser, no seas. Alright, so these are how you form informal commands, also known as to commands in the affirmative, which is what we see here, and in the negative. Alright, keep watching and I'll go through formal commands with you and how they're formed, and hopefully maybe you can see how we came up with some of these negatives. Alright, now we're going to learn how to form formal commands in Spanish. Now these are also known as usted and ustedes commands. Alright, so these can be singular or they can be plural. Alright, now I feel that formal commands are a little bit more beneficial to use and learn for 3 reasons. Reason number 1, because I feel like for the non-native speaker, they're a lot easier to learn because you have to learn one way for the singular and just add another letter in order to make it plural. Alright, reason number 2, when you want to make them negative, you don't have to change the opposite endings, add S's or anything like that. You just put a no in front. Very simple. And then reason number 3, once you learn how to make a formal command, you have a jump start on learning the subjunctive tense, which will come at your upper level Spanish courses. So I may be a little biased because where I studied abroad, this is pretty much all they use. But it's beneficial to know the 2 commands, the informals, because when you hear a lot of native speakers talk, they're going to be using the informal commands between each other and with friends. So it's good for you to be able to pick up on it and know, discern between which ones they're using. So it's good to know both. Alright, so let's get started here. First of all, we're going to use our 3 verbs again: bailar, comer, and escribir for our examples. Now, if you probably just finished watching the informal commands, you kind of saw how I made the other ones negative, where the yo form present, opposite endings, add the S's, and that's how you make them negative. Well, we're going to follow all those steps except for the last one in order to form the formal command. So, step number 1. Alright, put it in the yo form present tense. We get bailo. Step number 2, opposite ending. And what I mean by that is AR verbs will get an E, ER, IR verbs will get an A. So we'll have baile. Alright, let's do this again over here. Yo form presente, we get como. Opposite endings, coma. Yo form presente, escribo. Opposite endings, escriba. Now, that's pretty much how you form a formal command for one person. If you wanted to make it more than one person, like you all dance, all right? The only thing you're going to do is add one letter, and that letter is going to be an N, all right? So we get bailan, and we get coman, and then we have escriban. So that's it. So we have singular, and I'll write singular here so you don't get confused, and we'll have plural. One person, more than one person. Now there are 5 irregular verbs for formal commands, and we'll give those to you now. Dar, which equals day, and den. Now make sure you put your accent here on this day because we don't want to confuse it with the day that means of or from. So you need to have the accent there. Estar, we get este, and esten. Once again, we need the accent here on this E because we don't want to mix it up with the singular form for this. We have ir, which equals vaya, and vajan. Ser, we have seya, and seyan, and saber. Sepa and sepa. Now I just want to touch on a little cultural aspect here with vaya. Alright, some places you might hear the Y pronounced as the Y sound, the ya. Alright, in other cultures you might hear them say more like a J sound, like vaja. Alright, just know it's talking about the same thing, still talking about go. Alright, it's just how they pronounce the word. So next, let's move on to how to make these negative. Alright, we'll first start off with usted, and then we'll go to the ustedes. Alright, so as we're moving down here, so if I want to say don't dance, we know that I had baile before for our positive command. All you're going to do is add a no. No baile. For comer, we had coma. All you do, add a no. No coma. We had escribir, which changed to escriba. All you do is add a no. Right? And that's for singular. And I'll put negative here, just for organizational matters. Alright, for plural, we had bailan, just put a no. So no bailan. We had coma, just put a no in front. No coman. Just put a no in front of it. No coman. We had escriban, put a no in front.